In a major success in India's fight against COVID-19, India has been given emergency authorization to ZyCoV-D-made ZyCoV-D vaccine. This is the second indigenous vaccine after Covaxin. ZyCoV-D is different from other vaccines since this can also be given to kids above 12 years of age. Here's a detailed report coming in.
A big boost to India's COVID fight. After Covaxin, Covishield and Sputnik, now India will get a fourth vaccine in the market soon. The 3-dose ZyCoV-D jab against COVID. ZyCoV-D is an indigenous vaccine developed by ZyCoV-D pharmaceutical company. It claims 100% efficacy against moderate COVID and 66.6% efficacy against symptomatic patients. ZyCoV-D isn't different from the other COVID vaccines available in India. It is the only COVID vaccine in the world that is DNA-based. What's even more interesting, the ZyCoV vaccine is needle-free. Most importantly, the vaccine has been approved by drug controller for use on children above 12 years.
We have mostly finished all our recruitment. We have by far recruited the largest number of patients in India, which is 28,000 volunteers who have been vaccinated as part of the trial. This is by far one of the largest trials that has been conducted.
Soon after the approval granted to ZyCoV-D, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took to Twitter calling the feat by our scientists remarkable. ZyCoV-D has pledged to deliver over 12 crore doses annually. As India moves forward with opening up schools, this vaccine gives us a better shot at that. With Milan Sharma and Sneha Mordani in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Fresh Kejriwal government versus Delhi LG over deaths due to lack of oxygen has erupted. This is the face-off that has erupted. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has alleged that Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal blocked the Delhi government proposal to probe deaths due to lack of oxygen during the second wave. Sisodia alleged that LG said there was no need for a probe panel. Questioning how will states like Delhi furnish data on oxygen related to deaths without a probe. Blaming the Centre for Oxygen Mismanagement, Sisodia said that the centre wants states to tell the country that no deaths took place due to a lack of oxygen. The Delhi LG office has hit back, calling Sisodia's statements misleading, adding that neither centre nor LG said that the oxygen deaths should have never been probed. The Supreme Court appointed panel already submitted an interim report, and setting up another committee will create confusion.
अप्रैल मई के महीने में जो कोविड की लहर आई, उसमें ऑक्सीजन का भारी संकट हुआ, इससे कोई इनकार नहीं कर सकता। इस बात से कोई इनकार नहीं कर सकता कि उस दौरान हर एक अस्पताल में डॉक्टर्स ने, मरीजों के रिश्तेदारों ने, विभिन्न पत्रकारों ने त्राही त्राही के संदेश तक भेजे कि जी किसी तरह से बचा लीजिए, और उसमें बहुत लोगों की डेथ भी हुई। एक तरफ तो केंद्र कह रहा है कि भाई राज्य बताएं कि ऑक्सीजन की कमी की वजह से कितनी डेथ हुई, दूसरी तरफ से कह रहे हैं जांच नहीं करने देंगे। तो बताएं कैसे राज्य फिर?
3 months after Bengal polls, the CBI takes over probe in the post-poll violence on direction of Calcutta High Court. The Central Bureau of Investigation has now written to West Bengal DGP seeking details of all cases of murder, attempted murder and rape reported during post-poll violence in the state. The CBI has formed 4 special investigation units with 6 members each and a total of 25 officers. Each unit is going to be headed by a joint director and will be a court-monitored probe. Investigating officers will also be visiting West Bengal and violence-affected areas very soon. The Calcutta High Court had on Thursday ordered a CBI inquiry into the cases of post-poll violence in West Bengal. It has said that all agencies, including the Human Rights Commission, must cooperate with the CBI. However, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is likely to move Supreme Court after High Court refused to grant it any relief. And the opposition meeting chaired by Sonia Gandhi. The meeting was attended by 18 other opposition parties. The Congress interim president exhorted parties to rise above their differences and unite against BJP in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The opposition also released an 11-point charter that included demands to cut fuel prices and scrap the 3 farm laws. Here's a complete report.
Opposition unity seems to be the flavor of the season. The parties that came together to block Parliament have once again come on a single platform. 19 political parties attended the virtual meeting called by Congress's interim president Sonia Gandhi on Friday to build a common strategy against the BJP. Mamata Banerjee, Uddhav Thackeray, Mehbooba Mufti, M.K. Stalin were among those who attended. At the meeting, Sonia Gandhi appealed to the opposition parties to unite against the BJP. She called for a common strategy for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Pointing out how opposition unity worked inside the parliament, the Congress leader urged all parties to show the same zeal outside the house too. Sonia exhorted the parties to bury their differences in the national interest.
जितने भी पार्टियां हैं जो आज के दिन इस संवैधानिक व्यवस्था एक धर्मनिरपेक्ष जनतंत्र का गणराज्य जो भारत है उसको सुरक्षित बचाने के लिए तैयार है और जनता की समस्याओं को हल करने के लिए तैयार है तो आए वो हमारी पूरी स्वागत है.
Sonia Gandhi's meeting comes after similar gatherings led by Rahul Gandhi, Kapil Sibal, Mamata Banerjee and Sharad Pawar. Opposition unity, however, seems to be a long way away. For instance, the 2 biggest parties of India's most populous state were missing at Sonia Gandhi's meet. The Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party were invited, but both decided to skip it. The Aam Aadmi Party wasn't invited at all.
आज की मीटिंग कांग्रेस ने बुलाई थी, कई पार्टियों ने अटेंड किया, जिसमें 2024 या एक अन्य रणनीति जिसमें देश और प्रदेशों के अहम मुद्दे शामिल थे. हमें आशा है कि आगे चलकर भी हम ऐसी असफल सरकार को घेरेंगे.
And then there are the fence sitters, parties like TRS, YSR Congress and BJD, who come from states that have 63 Lok Sabha seats. But these parties seem not ready to commit yet.
Leaders of 19 opposition parties met, but a united front ahead of 2024 remains an unfinished agenda without SP and BSP. The Gandhis, though, did manage to send the message across that they are very much in control of the party affairs and that they mean business. With camera person Ashwini, this is Anand Patel in New Delhi for India Today.
Even as the Taliban has declared Afghanistan as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the people are not ready to bow down. 3 districts of Baghlan province have been liberated by anti-Taliban militia led by Commander Abdul Hamid Tatkar. According to reports, Banu, Polehisar and Desala have been liberated. Earlier, Panjshir, the stronghold of the Northern Alliance, was the only area free of Taliban's control, prompting even the former Vice President Amrullah Saleh to take refuge in the Panjshir Valley. While Taliban is dealing with any form of resistance in the strictest of manner, they haven't been completely successful in quelling the discontent amongst the Afghanistan people. Multiple protests have popped up all across Afghanistan with women leading from the front. Take a look. And heartbreaking scenes continuing to emerge out of Kabul airport where desperate Afghans are lining up to flee Taliban. Images of parents flinging their infants over barbed wires. Gunshots reverberate as American troops fire in the air to disperse the crowd. Naveed Sultani has captured the scenes of despair at the Hamid Karzai airport for India Today.
Desperate parents flinging their wailing infant over a barbed wire. As shots are fired to disperse the crowd. These are the images of horror unfolding in the Afghan capital of Kabul. All these people want is to escape. The Kabul airport is flooded with Afghans looking for any way to reach out to the American forces who are in control of the flights right now.
There is a national airport of Kabul. A lot of people you see in the photo, you see in the photo, they escaped from Kabul because they say when the Taliban is captured the Kabul, they fear and they don't want to stay here. Someone have a make a document, they want to leave the Afghanistan.
The US soldiers are resorting to firing in the air, resulting in absolute pandemonium.
I want to leave Afghanistan. Situation here is very difficult to live. I have small children. I want embassy to help me in leaving the country.
An Afghan army veteran is among those trying to leave Kabul.
I worked for peace for close to 20 years. But now I'm jobless and don't know what will happen.
Not just Jawar, women fear for their safety in wake of Taliban takeover and want a better life elsewhere.
I want education. I want to learn in my life and grow also. I want to live in peace and I'm tired of this country.
The sea of Afghans outside Kabul airport reflect the worst humanitarian crisis the world has witnessed in recent years. With Naveed Sultan from Kabul, Bureau Report, India Today.
The Taliban have declared that there will be no democracy in Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. They will rule strictly by Islamic law of Sharia. While at least 50 countries in the world follow the Sharia law, it is the Taliban's interpretation of the Sharia that has Afghans, especially the women, fearing for their freedom. In its early avatar, the Taliban banned women from going to schools, to work, showing off their ankles and venturing out without a male escort. Will Taliban 2.0 be any different? Take a look.
Burqa or death? The choice is very real, as both have returned to Afghanistan with a vengeance. The Taliban are back, 20 years after they had been evicted from power. And the Afghan women had revealed their faces to breathe in the air of freedom. Taliban 2.0 is promising women their rights, but only within the framework of the Islamic Sharia law as interpreted by the Taliban.
Women will be afforded all their rights, whether it is in work or other activities, because women are a key part of society. And we are guaranteeing all their rights within the limits of Islam.
But so far, the reality has been quite different. Pictures of women at Kabul beauty salons have been painted over. While Taliban spokesperson appeared on television to be interviewed by a female presenter, women journalists across networks have been asked to stay at home.
मैं ऑफिस गई और जब मैं ऑफिस पहुंची उधर मुझसे कहा गया कि आपका जाना ऑफिस में अलाउड नहीं है। मैंने पूछा क्यों अलाउड नहीं है? उन्होंने कहा कि निजाम बदल गया है और आप इस दिन के बाद नहीं कर सकती, जॉब आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते।
I had a meeting with the new leader that he is from Taliban. They said for us now you might wait because we didn't decide that can you woman work or not in TV. So a few days you must be at home.
The former captain of the women's soccer team, Khalida Popal, has urged female players to burn their kits, delete their social media profiles and photos to protect themselves from the ruling regime.
I've been encouraging all these young women and girls in my country to be the voice for voiceless, to stand strong, to be bold, to be visible. Today, I'm calling them and telling them, take down their names, remove their identities, take down their photos for their safety. Even I'm telling them to burn down or get rid of your national team uniform. And that is painful for me.
In the 1990s, when the Taliban had been the masters of Afghanistan, there were strict rules that concerned anyone born a woman. The Taliban enforced their version of what they considered strict Sharia, or law according to Islam. Taliban's assault on women began almost immediately after they took power. They closed the women's university and forced all women to quit their jobs. There were floggings and execution of women on the streets of Kabul that had been filmed, and when these visuals reached the audiences outside, it brought out the horrific reality of what being an Afghan woman meant under the Taliban. Everything was banned. Women were treated worse than livestock. Girls in Afghanistan between 1996 and 2001 were banned from studying, banned from working, banned from leaving house without a male chaperone, banned from showing any skin in public, banned.
Heartbreaking images continue to pour in from Afghanistan, with thousands thronging the Kabul airport in a desperate bid to escape the Taliban rule. Children and women are worst impacted, with disturbing images of kids being separated from their parents appearing almost everywhere. Many families can be seen handing over their children to US and UK security forces for a better future in place other than Afghanistan. These images are coming a day after a video emerged from Kabul airport where parents were seen passing their babies to strangers so that they could be handed over to the US troops. Disturbing images indeed.